You ever meet someone who knows exactly what to say to make a woman smile? Like they don't try too hard, they don't overthink it, but when they speak, it just hits, it lands, and you can see her body language shift. She leans in, she laughs a little longer. Her eyes lock with his just a little stronger, and you wonder, what is it? What is he saying that makes her feel that way? Let me tell you something that most men miss. It's not about flattery. It's not about saying what you think she wants to hear. It's about saying what she didn't know she needed to hear. Because real compliments, ones that leave a mark, are rooted in awareness. They're anchored in presence, and they make her feel seen, not for how she looks, but for who she is. Today, I want to take you deep into a conversation that could change how you connect with women, not just on the surface, but emotionally. We're going to explore the kinds of compliments that don't just make her smile. They make her fall, slowly, deeply, and maybe even permanently. And here's the twist. This isn't about manipulation. It's not about pickup lines or some kind of psychological trick. This is about presence, intention, and learning how to notice the parts of her that most men never take the time to acknowledge. So let's take a walk through a story, through moments, interactions, and subtle compliments that, when said with the right energy, can make her heart skip. I want you to imagine you're already in these situations. You're not just listening, you're living it. She walks in. Not in some grand, dramatic entrance, but in that natural, effortless way that some women have. She's not trying to be the center of attention, but somehow she is. You talk, you laugh, and in a pause between stories, you look at her and say, "You know what I like? You have this way of making people feel comfortable. It's like when you're around, the room just softens." That's not something she hears every day. It's not about her hair, her dress, her eyes. It's about her energy, her presence. And the moment you point it out, not in a needy way, but with calm confidence, she feels something shift. She's no longer just talking to a guy. She's with someone who sees her essence. Here's what's happening in her mind. Most compliments she's heard in her life are external. You're beautiful. You look amazing. That's cool, but it fades. What doesn't fade is the compliment that touches her identity. You're not complimenting her outfit. You're complimenting her impact. And when you do that, when your words reflect what she's never fully articulated about herself, you become unforgettable. Maybe it's your third or fourth time together. You're walking, somewhere quiet, maybe through a park, maybe on a late-night coffee run. She's telling you about something vulnerable, a challenge she went through, a dream she's chasing but hasn't fully spoken out loud. And you say, "You know, I don't think people realize how much depth you have. There's a quiet strength in you that's really rare. It's like you don't have to prove anything, but the way you move through things, that says everything." That lands different. That's the kind of compliment that echoes in her mind hours after you part ways. It shows her that you're not just listening, you're absorbing, you're feeling her, not just hearing her. Most men don't go there. Most men stay at the surface. But when you go deeper, she feels safer, seen, and safety is sexy. Security is magnetic, especially when it comes from a man who doesn't need anything from her, but still gives her that reflection of her best self. Now let's pause for a second. Why do compliments like these make women fall? Because we live in a world that constantly tells women what they should be, what they should look like, how they should act. And when you become the man who tells her what she already is, and that it's enough, you're not just another voice. You're a sanctuary, a mirror she didn't know she needed. You're not trying to impress her. You're recognizing her, and that's rare. That's powerful. You're sitting across from her. Maybe you're teasing each other. She throws a sarcastic comment your way. You laugh and say, "You know, you have the best kind of humor. It's smart, a little savage, but still warm. It's like you know how to roast people and make them feel good at the same time." She laughs louder, because you saw something she takes pride in, but most people misunderstand it. And when you name it like that, with clarity, playfulness, and honesty, it builds this bridge of intimacy. She knows you get her, and that's gold. You're out with friends, it's casual, music's playing, people are laughing. She makes a comment that turns the whole room, everyone leans in, and you, without making a scene, just say to the group, "That's what I love about her. She always knows how to bring something thoughtful into a conversation, even when it's light." She blushes, not because she's embarrassed, but because you just elevated her genuinely in front of others. That kind of public validation. It tells her, "I see you, and I'm not afraid to show it." One night, she's a little off. Maybe something happened. You sense it, not because she told you, but because you notice the shift. You gently ask, "Hey, you don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to, but just so you know, I see how strong you are. And it's okay to not be that all the time." You're not solving her problem. You're just letting her know that she doesn't have to wear armor around you. And in that one moment, you became different, special, trusted. Here's the deeper truth. Real compliments are a form of connection. They're not strategy, they're not lines, they're expressions of presence. When you see her clearly, her mind, her emotions, her energy, you're not just speaking to her ears, you're speaking to her soul. And when you do it consistently, not every day, not forced, but when it's felt, she starts associating you with that emotional safety, with that grounded appreciation, and slowly, she opens, she invests, she feels. Because a woman doesn't fall because of how good you look. She falls because of how good you make her feel about herself when she's around you. You're sitting on a porch. She's tying her hair up barefoot, sipping coffee. No makeup, no filters, and you look at her and say, "I don't think you even realize how beautiful you are when you're not trying. Like, there's something about you when you're just being." She'll remember that moment forever. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. And in that moment, she didn't feel like she had to perform. She just was, and you still saw beauty. So here's what I want you to take from all of this. The most powerful compliments aren't loud. They're subtle, thoughtful, honest. They don't focus on what she already hears from every guy. They touch the parts of her that few people take the time to see. It's the way she lifts the mood of a room, the way her mind works when she's solving something, the look in her eyes when she's passionate, the way she keeps going when things are tough, the way she treats people who can't do anything for her. When you notice those things, and when you speak them out loud, you don't just become another man in her life. You become the one who reminded her of who she really is. And that's the kind of man she doesn't forget. Keep it real, keep it grounded, and never underestimate the power of simply noticing and saying it. That's how you make her fall, not through force, but through presence.